The unique and secretive nature of North Korea's political regime has given rise to a wide array of strange and distinct features that are rarely found elsewhere in the world. Join us as Viewcation presents weird things that only exist in North Korea. Eternal Leader Statues. North Korea is home to numerous imposing statues dedicated to its former leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. These statues are often massive and placed prominently throughout the country, serving as symbols of the regime's authority and the eternal reverence demanded for the leaders. Tourists are frequently taken to see these statues, and locals are expected to pay their respects regularly by bowing before them. The statues are meticulously maintained, and any signs of disrespect or vandalism are treated as severe offenses. Kim Il-sung's embalmed body. The preserved body of Kim Il-sung, the founding leader of North Korea, is on permanent display in the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun in Pyongyang. His embalmed remains are housed in a glass sarcophagus and can be viewed by tourists and select North Korean citizens on special occasions. The display is a central element of the cult of personality surrounding Kim Il-sung, reinforcing the belief that he is still, quote, eternally leading the country, even decades after his death in 1994. The preservation process is a closely guarded secret, and the body is meticulously maintained. Mass Games. The mass games in North Korea are spectacular and meticulously choreographed performances that involve thousands of participants. These performances typically occur in large stadiums, and they celebrate the country's political ideology and leadership. Mass games include synchronized gymnastics, dance routines, and elaborate human formations. The performances often feature giant card displays, with participants holding colored cards to create intricate, changing scenes. The mass games serve as propaganda, promoting the regime's messages of unity, loyalty, and the superiority of North Korean society. Tourists are occasionally allowed to attend these events, which are a unique spectacle unlike any other in the world. Haircuts. North Korea has gained a reputation for its strict regulations on hairstyles. The government-approved list of haircuts is limited, especially for men, who are typically required to keep their hair short and neatly groomed. Women have a bit more flexibility, but still must choose from a pre-approved selection of styles. The hairstyles often reflect the government's conservative values, discouraging trendy or unconventional looks. Authorities occasionally conduct hairstyle inspections to ensure compliance, and people found with haircuts outside the approved range may be forced to rectify the situation. Strict dress code. In addition to controlling hairstyles, North Korea enforces a strict dress code. Citizens are expected to adhere to traditional and conservative attire. Men typically wear suits or military uniforms, while women are encouraged to wear dresses or skirts, often below the knee. Specific colors and patterns may be mandated on special occasions or in designated areas. The dress code is a way for the government to control and homogenize the appearance of its citizens, reinforcing conformity and discouraging individual expression. Three-generation punishment. North Korea implies a policy known as guilt by association, or three-generation punishment. Under this system, if one family member is found guilty of a political offense or is perceived as disloyal to the regime, the punishment can extend to 3 generations of that family. This means not only the accused individual, but also their children and grandchildren may face severe consequences, such as imprisonment in labor camps, loss of social status, or forced relocation to remote areas. The policy is used as a deterrent, instilling fear and loyalty among the population. No internet access. North Korea has one of the most closed and controlled internet systems in the world. The vast majority of its citizens have no access to the global internet. Instead, they use a restricted and heavily censored intranet known as Pyongyang. This intranet allows access to a limited set of government-approved websites and content. Foreign websites, social media platforms, and most online information are inaccessible to the general population. The government tightly controls and monitors internet usage to prevent the flow of outside information and to maintain its grip on the narrative within the country. Government-provided media. In North Korea, all media outlets, including television, radio, newspapers, and magazines, are tightly controlled by the state. The content is heavily censored and serves as a propaganda tool to promote the regime's ideology and leadership. There's no access to foreign news or entertainment, and the focus is on glorifying the ruling Kim family. Radios and televisions are preset to government-approved channels, and it's illegal to tamper with or modify them. Any attempt to access or distribute foreign media can lead to severe punishments, including imprisonment. Juche Ideology. Juche is the official state ideology of North Korea, and it's a key element of the country's identity. The ideology, often translated as self-reliance, emphasizes independence from foreign influence and places the Korean people and leadership at the center of the nation's destiny. Juche has strong nationalist and isolationist undertones, emphasizing loyalty to the state and its leaders. It permeates all aspects of North Korean life, from politics and education to culture and the arts. Citizens are taught to prioritize the interests of the state above all else. Pyongyang Metro Museum. The Pyongyang Metro is one of the deepest metro systems in the world and serves as a means of transportation for the city's residents. But it also has a unique feature. Many of its stations double as museums, showcasing North Korean propaganda art and historical exhibits. Passengers can view paintings, mosaics, and sculptures that depict the country's history, achievements, and the glory of its leaders. Kimjongilia and Kimilsungia flowers. North Korea has two national flowers named after its leaders, Kim Jong-il and Kim Il-sung. Kimjongilia, a type of begonia, is named after Kim Jong-il, and Kimilsungia, a type of orchid, is named after Kim Il-sung. These flowers are cultivated and celebrated in North Korea and are often displayed during national celebrations and events. Their namesakes, the country's former leaders, are revered figures, and these flowers are used as symbols of devotion and loyalty to the regime. It's customary to present bouquets of these flowers as tokens of respect and allegiance to the leaders. Mandatory portraits. In North Korea, every household is required to prominently display portraits of the country's founding leader, Kim Il-sung, and his successor, Kim Jong-il. These portraits are considered sacred and must be kept in pristine condition. Citizens are expected to regularly clean and dust the portraits, and any sign of disrespect or damage to these images is viewed as a grave offense. Failing to properly maintain these portraits can result in serious repercussions. No international calls. Ordinary North Koreans don't have access to international phone calls or communication with the outside world. The government strictly controls telecommunications, and international calls are typically reserved for high-ranking officials and trusted individuals. Even for those who have access to international calls, the conversations are heavily monitored and restricted in terms of content. No loud laughter zones. In certain areas of North Korea, particularly near monuments, statues, or memorial sites dedicated to the country's leaders, public laughter is discouraged and seen as disrespectful. Authorities enforce this rule to reinforce the reverence and devotion demanded by the regime towards its leaders and ideology. Now it's time to hear from you. What's the wildest part of North Korea's rules? Let us know in the comments section below.